Class of 2020, students, faculty, and staff, parents, aunts, uncles, and friends, from Aqaba to Irbid, from California to Shanghai, we are glad to have you here. Though this place where we are is a virtual location and not a physical location, and it is good to see you gathered together, though what I may see is a tally on a live streaming dashboard and not your faces in a crowd. And it is wonderful to speak with you, though the voice that you hear is digitally transmuted, not my actual voice, but a projection of where I am to where you are. While this is not the form that commencement has taken in the past, it is a form that is nonetheless an extraordinary experience. And I'd like to break down for a moment what this event is, what the spring term has been, and then share a little more about how we can survive and thrive in these unusual times. When schools closed around the world, school leaders knew that recreating physical classes online would be a mistake. Taking class at home through a screen is an entirely different experience than taking a class in person at a school. But every door closed is another door opened. The format of class shifted, and so the way that our teachers taught shifted. The work of being a student also shifted. Classes became longer, but also less frequent. Student work became more independent. The amount of material that teachers covered decreased, but the ways in which that material could be engaged diversified and grew more reflective as it stretched over time. Delivering an excellent experience, one that stands out, means recognizing the relationship between the form of the experience and its content. How school happens, the content of school, must evolve to embrace the new format of school. And so it is for a commencement ceremony. When we are forced to change the experience of commencement, if we simply try to recreate on a screen what existed in person, then we do both the in-person experience of commencement and the format of the screen injustice, for neither was designed for the other. But if we understand the heart of the experience, and if we understand the opportunities of the new format, then we can create something novel, unique, and excellent. What is it about commencement that we cherish? Being together with family and friends. The feeling of closure and transition. The signifier of the cap and gown. The opportunity to celebrate and say goodbye. And when we are forced to have a commencement that is socially distanced and therefore mediated through a screen instead of together in person, while we lose something, what do we gain? A wider range of locations, the ability to add music throughout, the opportunity to visually edit and compose the experience, the participation of people who might not otherwise be able to participate, and the ability to introduce a wider stylistic landscape. If we were to host a virtual commencement solely at a podium with a banner behind us, then we would seek to stuff the majesty of the moment, of the commencement lawn, into a two-dimensional screen. But if we take advantage of the medium that we are in, then while we lose some of the majesty of the moment, we gain the possibilities of the new medium. We cannot and should not try to recreate the past when the world is shifting around us, but we should recognize what the past stands for and what its values teach us: togetherness with family, closure, and transition. And we should let those be our guides while we combine them with something new. It is now broadly understood that this class, the class of 2020, is going to be a class of innovators, of resilient, creative leaders. Because if you can get through this, you can get through anything. Because out of the losses of what you had come to expect, you have created something new and sought and found unity and expression. And what does this look like? A docu-series later, a virtual prom, an online arts showcase, and a dozen other initiatives that have built a sense of unity, you have begun finding already what it means to create in a new format. But I'd like to take this a step further. I'd like to take this moment and this belief that you are and will be more creative and resilient, and I'd like to deconstruct why and how we can all continue to do this and continue to reshape the future in new ways. If, as leadership theorists have projected for decades now, the world truly is going to be more volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous, and this current global pandemic certainly is evidence that it might be, then we need a leadership approach, such as has been shown by your classmates, that acknowledges this reality and adapts to this new world. Lebanese-American scholar Nassim Nicholas Taleb describes one such approach using the language of anti-fragility, or what he calls being anti-fragile. Something that is fragile, he says, when acted upon by stress, it breaks down. Something that is robust, he says, when acted upon by stress, it holds its form. But something that is anti-fragile, he says, when acted upon by stress, grows stronger. Take a candle, for example. When you blow on it, it goes out. But a fire, for example, when you blow on it, it grows stronger. How can we, in times like these, be less like a candle and more like a fire? Deconstructing the image helps make it clear. Our breath cools a fire, but it is also rich with oxygen. So a candle, when we blow on it, is cooled and is extinguished. But a fire is able to take in the oxygen and grow hotter like a furnace and then share that heat across the rest of the fire. A fire is anti-fragile because it is interconnected like a system. It shares its resources. Its interconnections make it stronger. How can we be like this fire? How are we like this fire? To say that this global pandemic is putting stress on us is putting it lightly. But like the fire, we are more connected than ever before. And if we are pushed further into our digital medium, then let us harness that. And this is how we can continue to be resilient, to be anti-fragile. We are doing this right now. You did this in creating a docuseries while physically distanced, and a prom, and while participating in a symposium that brought together experts from around the world. And this is not only how we as a school, but also how you as students can be made stronger, not only now, but in the future. You are connected richly across social networks, across time zones, across your identity as the class of 2020 at King's Academy. This unites you, connects you, it gives you strength. And if you recognize the opportunity that the challenges around us now present for us, then in this more volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world, you will continue to grow stronger. So yes, you are the class that has faced a challenge and novelty unlike any other, and it has come with loss, and that loss is worth mourning. But you are already emerging from it stronger, and the opportunity for you to grow stronger yet depends on your adaptability and your anti-fragility. So please, stay connected to each other and to us. Embrace this rapidly changing world even while you hold fast to your values. Seek out opportunities of the changing formats of our lives. These may be your guides to growing resilient. These you have already shown. May you continue to do so in your lives to come, for you may have the most significant opportunity to explore and understand what an integrated life means and what global citizenship means more than any class before you. And let this event, this celebration of connectedness that is built around your commencement, your new beginning, let this event be the first step in embracing the understanding that in a new medium, in a new environment, come new opportunities. Congratulations on your commencement. Mabruk, class of 2020.